What is up, everyone? Today I'm going to be discussing what I want for Dexter Resurrection because we are getting closer and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. The first thing is I want some justice for Dexter Morgan. Many fans were disappointed with how Dexter and Dexter New Blood ended, specifically with Dexter being killed by his own son, Harrison. So a good ending for Dexter would be nice. We saw a good ending in Original Sin, but that doesn't technically count as a good ending for Dexter to me, as that's a prequel. A resurrection could give Dexter a chance at a more satisfying redemptive arc, and hopefully we can see a decent ending. Second of all, I want a return to classic elements. The original series' early seasons had a tight balance of dark humor, suspense, and emotional complexity, so to see more internal monologues and darkly comedic voiceovers would be nice. I feel like New Blood and Original Sin were sort of missing a sort of edge in their voiceovers, you know? Also, hopefully we can see more scary villains. Don't get me wrong, I like New Blood's Kurt Caldwell. I love how that character was portrayed. Same goes for Aaron Spencer in Original Sin, but none of them really measure up to the scariness of Brian Moser and Arthur Mitchell. Those were truly foreboding villains, and I want something like that in Resurrection. I mean, I'm not counting on it because it seems these villains are just going to be serial killers in that weird group thing they were doing, and Dexter's going to go after them. That's probably how it's going to play out. But I can hold out hope. New Blood was sorely missing forensic science and Miami Metro involvement, as Dexter ran from his previous life in the past show. And with the return of characters like Batista and Harry, I think seeing other Miami Metro characters would, return would be nice. And probably plausible too. But since we're on that topic, that's the next thing I want for Resurrection, returning characters. I want characters from the OG series to come back. I mean, we already know Batista is back, as well as Harrison. We have Arthur Mitchell and Miguel Prado confirmed to be coming back as hallucinations while Dexter is in the hospital. Characters from New Blood make sense to come back too, as this is a follow-up series. Although I'm just going to guess we're only going to get Angela. That just makes the most sense to me. With Batista coming back, we can expect some other Miami Metro people to come back too. I place money on Desmond Harrington returning as Joey Quinn because of this specific interview moment.
Now, with Resurrection on the horizon, can we expect Quinn to make an appearance?
I will not say a f***ing word.
Jesus Christ.
I'm joking.
No, but really?
No, I would never tell anybody if I was...
So you are?
I'm not going to say a word. That's how it was. It's like,
good. Oh, look at that smirk. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I know how to read people.
I mean, it just feels like he's hinting at a return here while not actually saying anything. And if we're getting Joey Quinn, you can guarantee we're going to get characters like Masuka. I mean, fan favorites. There's no way they don't bring them back. Because this is meant to be a return to form. We have Harry coming back. So not having Miami Metro would feel like a big piece of Dexter is missing in what's meant to be this revival of the original show in its purest form, and not a stylized thing like Original Sin or New Blood. I would love a Deb return like we saw in New Blood, but Jennifer Carpenter has made it clear she's done with the franchise, so I'm not counting on that. Now for some out there guesses. These are ones that I think could be likely. I have some reasoning, but probably not going to happen. Brian Moser returning as a ghost like we've seen in the past, in season 2 and 6 in the Nebraska episode. He's a fan favorite. People absolutely adore Krystan Carmago as Brian Moser, so seeing him come back would be amazing, And the same logic goes for James Doak. Seeing Eric King return would be cool. And one thing I've always wanted is Ritter as a ghost, like playing as a foil to, Dexter, like Harry does. That would just be cool. And Julie Carpenter has made it clear she'd love to return. Maybe the same logic for Hannah McKay, Dexter's two dead lovers. Those would be cool. Maybe they could play off each other. I seriously doubt it, though. I'm just spitballing. Now, characters we know who are alive. Lumen would be cool to come back. She always knew what Dexter was, so seeing her reaction to him being outed would be cool. The same logic goes for Asta and Cody to me. I mean, what would they think of their stepfather being a murderer, especially after they, think he's been dead for however long? And we haven't seen them since, season 5, I think. So it'd be cool to see them interact with Dexter if we could, and a grown-up Harrison, and just see where they are at this point in time after so long of them not being in the show. Number 4, I want a Harrison redemption. With Harrison continuing as a central character, I'd like a compelling development of his own Dark Passenger, which we can assume will be happening based on those shots that appear to show him killing in the Resurrection trailer. I also want to have a clearer identity for him. Not just Dexter 2.0, but that does seem to be where he's going. He's following Dexter's path with the plastic and stuff, so maybe that's a bit of a sore guess for me. I just want a moral conflict for that man that feels believable, because him changing his mind and just shooting Dexter kind of came out of nowhere. Hopefully, we just see loads of stuff that can make Harrison better and, liked more by fans. Because I know some people really dislike him right now, but I don't. And I want that character redeemed for the rest of the fan base and for him to have something cool to do in Resurrection. And hopefully he will. And finally, I want a resurrection that makes sense. Resurrection needs to feel earned and not just a catch grab. New Blood felt earned since it had been nearly 10 years since Dexter graced our screens, and fans were clamoring for a better ending than the original. But it's only been 4 years since New Blood, and we've already seen Original Sin. They announced Resurrection at the same time. It kind of did feel like they were just trying to capitalize on Dexter's sudden popularity on social media again. So hopefully this is good and not just a cash grab, and I do believe it will be good. They have all the elements, in there to make this great and amazing, and I am banking on it being the best Dexter show we have seen since the original. But only time will tell. So that's absolutely everything I want for Dexter Resurrection, and I think they're all valid, asks and wants for the show, but what do you think? Is there anything I didn't mention that you want to see in Resurrection? Is there something I did mention that you disagree with? If so, just talk it all out in the comments below. I'll be interacting. I love having a forum and talking about this show, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.